Good day, students. So in this clip, we're going to be going over some examples on how to write equation of lines. So let's go ahead and write down the instructions for the examples we're going to do. Um, write an equation of the line with the given information. The given information in um, in slope intercept, and standard forms. Standard forms. Okay. All right. So just a real quick review before we start. Remember your slope intercept form is y equals mx plus by by itself, and your standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a and b are integers or integers. Okay. All right. Let's keep this fact in mind while we are doing the following problem. So let's start out with question number 1. We have m equals 4 and b equals 3. Now to write an equation of this line, what we're going to do is we're going to use slope intercept formula to do this, because you have the slope and the y-intercept. Okay, so this is the slope m and this is the y-intercept, so that's what we're going to use. Okay, so let's put the notes on the side. This right here, this is your slope, and this is your y-intercept. All right. Now, to do this, we just write down the formula first, and then it's going to guide us. So the formula is y equals mx plus b. All right? So we're just going to plug in m and b into this equation, and it tells us what the answer will be. So we're going to have y equals m is 4x plus 3. All right? I just substituted 3 for b, and then 4 for m. Now this is your answer in slope intercept form. Okay, so answer in slope intercept form. Slope intercept. Now how about standard form? To write this in standard form, all we just have to do is we just move the 4x over. So we're going to write y equals 4x plus 3. We minus 4x on both sides. All right, because I want the number by itself and all the variables on the other side. So we have negative 4x plus y equals 3. And I can divide every single term by -1 because I want a to be positive. So I divide these by -1, divide this by -1, and divide that by -1, everything. So that leaves us with the formulation 4x minus y equals -3. Note when you divide by -1, all the signs flip, okay? So this is your answer in standard form, okay? Answer in standard form. All right, let's move on to another example. For number 2, so we're going to do a similar problem. What if we had m equals 1/3 and b equals 5. All right, so first thing we'll do is write down the formula to guide us. The formula is y equals mx plus b. We're going to be substituting m, which is the slope, and b, which is the y-intercept, from here into here, and then that will basically give us what our equation is going to be. All right, so it's going to be y equals m, which is 1/3 x, plus b plus 5. Bam. There goes your answer in point slope form. All right, so there's your answer in point slope form. Now to generate our answer in slope intercept form, we're gonna move the x. We're gonna try and move the x component to the other side and get rid of that fraction. Okay, so I'm gonna move this 1/3 x to the left. How do I do that? Since this is positive, I have to do the opposite. which is minus, you subtract 1/3 x from the left and the right, okay? And what happens? On the left side, since these are unlike terms, this is y and this is x, different variables, you have to keep them separate. 1/3 x plus y equals, these are opposites so they cancel out, equals 5, alright? Now I need to have integers as coefficients, so I need to get rid of 1/3. So to get rid of negative 1/3, I'll multiply by the inverse of negative 1/3. Okay, so I'm gonna I'll multiply by the reciprocal of 1/3. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides of my equation by um, the reciprocal of negative 1/3, which is negative 3/1. Okay, when you reciprocate negative 1/3, the bottom goes to the top goes to the bottom, the sign stays the same. Doesn't matter where the sign is, so it's going to be negative 3/1. That's reciprocal, okay? All right, so let's apply that to this. So I did that to the left side, so I have to do it to the right side also to preserve equality, multiply by negative 3. All right, so if I distribute it, I'm going to get, what am I going to get? I'm going to get, distribute that, 3/3 x, minus times minus, you just slash and dash is plus. And when I distribute this to that, it's going to become minus 3/1y equals negative 15. Alright, let's simplify that. We're going to 3/3 is just x minus 3y equals negative 15. Alright, so there goes your answer in standard form. Alright, so answer in standard form. Standard. Okay, now let's try another example. In this case, we're going to be looking at fewer information, so we have to do more work. So this is number 2 I just did. Number 3, what if I have a point, 2, -4, and a slope of -1 1/2. So how do I do this? Well, for this one, I want to use the slope-intercept form equation, which is y equals mx plus b. I already know what m is. M is a slope, right? So m is 1/2. What is b? I have no idea what b is. Okay? I know m is 1/2 because that's a slope, right? This is a slope right here. Alright, so what we have to do is we're going to find b. So in order to find b, we need to substitute in the values that we know and find the variable that we need to find, which we do not know, which is b. Alright, I know that this is my y, and this is my x, and this right here is my m. So all these three will get plugged into your equation, y equals mx plus b. Alright, when you plug everything in here, the only thing that'll be left out is your b, okay, because m is going to go right there, x is going to go right here, and then y is going to go straight down there. Alright, so we're just going to do that, make that substitution. Alright, so let's do it. So we're going to have -4. I'm going to have -4. -4. Let me use a different color. So if I make the substitution, I'm going to have -4 equals m is 1/2 x. Oh wait, x is 2, right? So we're going to plug in x for 2. So 1/2 times 2 plus b. Alright? So I'm going to have -4 equals 1/2 times 2 is just 2/2 plus b. Alright, so you're going to have -4 equals 1 plus b. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And then you're going to have b equals -5. Okay, I hope you understand the substitution I made here, because I just said y is equal to -4, x is equal to 2, and m is equal to 1/2. Alright, I just plugged in all this into this equation. That's why I was able to get this. Alright, now I know my m and my b. Now I'm going to rewrite the equation. Let me partition my workspace. I'm going to rewrite the equation and then generate the desired result. So my equation again is y equals mx plus b. I have everything, right? I need m and b, that's all I need, all right? I know that m before was 1/2, and b, I just found it, right? B is 5. I'm sorry, -5. Now I'm going to plug it into this equation, and my answer is going to be y equals mx, that is 1/2 x plus b, but b is negative, minus 5. All right, so there goes your answer in in um, point slope form. Point slope form. All right, but what is the result in standard form though? We just need to get y and x on the same side and make sure the coefficients are integers. So what I'm going to do is rewrite the answer I just got, 1/2 x minus 5. I need this 1/2 x to the other side. So what I do is I'll subtract half x from both sides. All right, and that gives me what does that give me? That gives me negative 1/2 x. Remember, you cannot combine this in the unlike terms. Negative 1/2 x plus y equals -5. The coefficients have to be integers, so what I'm going to do is I need this negative 1/2 gone. So what I'll do is I'll multiply by the reciprocal of that, which is -2/1, and then -2/1. All right. So I'm going to distribute this negative 1/2 to everything. So on the top here, just multiply the top. Minus times minus is a plus, and then this way you have 2/2 x minus 2/1y, and on this side is 10. Simplifying further, we have x minus 2y equals 10. Voila! There goes your answer in standard form. All right, so that's the answer in standard formulation. All right, standard form. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and try another example. What if we had this scenario similar to what we just did? This is example 3. Example 4. What if we had the point -3? Yeah, what if we had the point -3, 1, and a slope of 2/3. Slope of 2/3. Okay. What if we had this scenario? So for this one, all we need is the slope and the y-intercept. So let's write down the equation. The equation of the slope-intercept equation is y equals mx plus b. I know that my m is 2/3, right? M is 2/3, and that's all I have. So my b is missing. What on earth is b? So in order to find b, I need to use this equation to plug in all the things I know, and then that would help me find the missing piece, which is b. All right, so I know this is my x, this is my y, and this is m, right? So I can just write it here. X is 3, y is 1. So plug in all these into this equation, and then we solve for b, okay? So we're going to have 1 equals m is 2/3. 2/3 times -3, which is what x is. I'm just substituting these values into this equation. Because what is b? Well, let's see. I don't know, but that's what I'm looking for, right? Times b. Okay, so let's solve this equation for b. So we're going to have 1 equals, you're going to have 2/3 times -3/1 plus b. Just times the top and the bottom. Top and the bottom, multiply across. Okay, I made this a fraction so you see that it times the top and the bottom. Okay, we have 1 equals -6/3 plus b. What is -6 divided by 3? This is simply -2, right? Just divide the top and bottom by 3. So -2 plus b. Add 2 to both sides. And then you have b equals +3. Alright, so I now know what b is. So with that information, I can find the equation of my line. Alright, y equals mx plus b is the equation. Again, I'm just going to plug in this m and b into my point slope. Into my slope intercept equation. So I'm going to have y equals 2/3 x plus 3. Alright, so this is my answer in standard. No, I'm sorry, in slope intercept form. Slope intercept. Alright, so How about my answer in standard form? In standard form, all I have to do is just put x and y on the same side and make sure the coefficients are integers. So let's rewrite the answer we just derived. So now we're going to move this 2/3 x to the left. Okay, so how do we do that? You subtract 2/3 x from both sides. Subtract 2/3 x from both sides. And we're going to have negative 2/3 uh, x plus y equals 3. Now, how do I get rid of this coefficient? This coefficient that looks weird right here. How do I get rid of this coefficient, 2/3 x? In order to get rid of that coefficient, I just multiply by the reciprocal, right? So that it becomes 1. So what I'll do, I can, well, that's one way of doing it. Or alternatively, I can just get rid of the denominator. So let me just get rid of the denominator in this case, okay? So I can multiply everything by negative 3 over 1 just to get rid of the denominator and this minus right here. So I multiply the left side by negative 3 over 1 to get rid of that denominator, and then multiply the right side by negative 3 so I do not change the problem, okay? So if I distribute everything on the left, here I'm going to have positive 6 over 3x minus 3y equals negative 9, okay? And then when you simplify it, you're going to have 2x minus 3y equals negative 9. And there goes your answer in standard form. So your answer in standard form. Alright? Standard. Okay, now let's try one more example. In this case, we'll be provided with 2 points, and we have to write the equation of the line going through those 2 points. So for number 5, we're going to have the points 1, 4, and negative 2, 3. Alright? So there are 2 ways of doing this. I can use the point slope form or the slope intercept form, alright? So I'm going to do them both ways, alright? So let's start with the one we know, the one we just did, which is the slope intercept form. So I'm going to label this method 1. You can use any method you like, okay? Method 1 requires less memorization. Method 1 requires, all you need to know is use, so method 1, slope intercept, slope intercept. Alright, so all you need to know here is the slope intercept equation, y equals mx plus b, right? So what do we have here? I do not know my m or b, so I have absolutely nothing to work with, so I have to find both, okay? So now, we need the equation of m. M is your slope equation, which is rise over run. M is rise over run. So what does that mean? Rise over run basically is a change in y2 minus y1, over your run, you run side to side, right? That's your x-axis, you change in x. Bam. Alright? So how does this relate to this thing I have right here? I have 2 points and then this bunch of coordinates. Well, these are the ones, these are the twos. x1, y1 represents your first coordinate values, and x2, y2 represents your second coordinate values, okay? So I'm going to just plug in these values into this slope equation to generate what m is. So that is going to give me 3 minus 4 y2 minus y1 over negative 2 minus 1. Okay? So 3 minus 4 is negative 1. Negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. If you divide it out, it's going to be 1/3. So there goes m. Alright, now that we have m, to find b, we just pick any point. Alright, so let's pick the first point. 1, 4. And we have m equals 1/3. So to do this one, I'll write out my slope intercept equation again. Y equals mx plus b. I know that my m is 1/3. I need to find my b, right? So m is 1/3. What else do I know? B is question mark. So in order to find b, I need the other variables plugged into the other values plugged into this equation so I can find the missing variable, right? So I need x, which is 1, and y, which is 4. Alright, so this is x, this is 1. Is what I'm going to plug in, okay? So I'm going to have, what am I going to have? I'm going to, after substituting, alright, so if we plug it in, we're going to have, what do we have? Let's see. 4 equals m, which is 1/3, x, which is 1, plus b. All right, we're trying to find b here, so we're going to have 4 equals 1/3 plus b. Okay, so how do we get b by itself? Well, all we just do is subtract 1/3 from both sides, that fraction there. So subtract 1/3 from the left and subtract 1/3 from the right. Okay, so we're going to have on the left side 4 minus 1/3 equals b. Okay, so we're going to do some fraction here. Make this over 1. What's the LCD of 3 and 1? LCD of 3 and 1 is 3. So I need to change the denominator of this 4 to 3, right? So to accomplish that, I just multiply by 3 top and bottom. Okay, so that gives me 12 over 3 minus 1 over 3 equals b. Subtract the top, you have 11 over 3 equals b. So that's the b that I need to write my equation in slope-intercept form. So b is 11 over 3. Okay, so we're going to write, so y equals mx was b. Your answer is going to be y equals, your m is, what is your m? M is 1/3 x plus 11 over 3. This is your solution in slope-intercept form. Okay, slope-intercept. And to generate this in point slope, to make this into standard form, what I'll do is rewrite the problem, and I will need to move this to the left side. So I subtract 1/3 x from both sides. So subtract 1/3 x, 1/3 x, and then you're going to have y, negative 1/3, the x comes first, plus y equals 11 over 3. Now I need to get rid of this denominator here and that denominator there. They turn out to be the same, so what I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to multiply everything by 3. Okay, that will get rid of the denominator. How about negative 3, because we have a minus here? So multiply the left side by negative 3 and the right side also by negative 3. All right, so we're going to have, if you distribute this 3 to both terms, we're going to have negative 3 over 3x. Actually, the minus and the minus makes that a plus, because it's 3 over 3 minus 3y equals negative 33 over 3, because I can put this over 1 and then just multiply across, right? So my answer is going to become x minus 3y equals negative 11. And there goes your answer in standard form. So this is your answer in standard form. Okay. So thanks a lot for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel for future updates and other videos. Share with your friends via Facebook or Twitter. Like my video down here if you liked it. If you didn't, you can send me an email or comment just so I can address your concerns. Alright? More videos at mathgoodserve.com. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.